Do you ever find yourself starting something new, like a diet or going to the gym, and find yourself wanting to give up after only a week? And then maybe a few months go by and you begin to feel regret for having given up, and you start that cycle all over again. Well, the truth is that self improvement sucks without this one key thing that allows you to keep going. And as we move forward into this video, I'd like you to keep this quote in the back of your mind. He who has a why can bear almost anyhow. And I wanted to talk about self-improvement today because I received this question from a viewer, and it was, Jake, you seem like someone who follows a lifestyle of self-improvement. How did you find that exactly? So to answer this, I'd like to tell the story of when I gave up. Going back to my early 20s, I was in a bad health state. I was in an undiagnosed state of having inflammatory bowel disease, but I didn't know it at the time. And for a lot of my life leading up to this point, I didn't really have any sort of purpose. I didn't go to the gym. I drank alcohol. I smoked. I played lots of video games. I had no aspirations for the future. And I was living the life of someone drifting through and letting life make decisions for me. I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have a why. So I never wanted to improve my situation. I never seeked to be better. And then when I got these symptoms of inflammatory bowel disease, it only made things worse. It made me give up even more, if you can give up on giving up. I decided that I was probably going to die by the time before I was 30. I didn't think I was going to make it. The symptoms of inflammatory bowel disease are similar to the symptoms of colon cancer. So I just assumed I've got the worst. The worst is happening to me. I should just give up. So I didn't seek to improve myself. I didn't seek to better my health. And even when I got my diagnosis, I made bad lifestyle decisions. I carried on drinking to try and forget the situation that I was in. I didn't go out looking to improve my skills or get a better job or earn more money because I thought, life's going to end soon. What's the point? So I just sat around drinking, smoking, and wasting my time. Again, it comes back to that why. I had no why, no purpose. My internal monologue was that there is no purpose. I'm going to die. Why improve my situation? And I was in that state for most of my 20s. But fast forward to being 30 years old, I was in a poor health state once again. It was time that I had to be hospitalized for my inflammatory bowel disease. And this changed things. I started to see things differently. I started to find my why. I wanted to not be in this poor health state, being in the situation where it felt like this could be the end. I could die here. Made me question, what the hell was I doing with my life? Why had I given up? And I thought about all the times where I tried and I gave up too early. I thought about the times where I wanted to be a YouTuber and I made videos and just stopped. In the same way that we started off this video talking about starting the gym or starting a diet. I've done those things in the past too. I didn't start the gym until much later in life, but I thought about eating healthily. I remember I started running a mile, and promptly after 3 sessions of running a mile, I stopped. No matter what I was trying to do, I never stuck with it because I didn't have that why. And I looked back and I felt that regret. I thought, if only I kept running that mile, I might be better at running by now. I felt self-conscious back then. I felt weird. I felt out of place, like this isn't my scene. Why am I running? This is stupid. But really, it was that little spark of, I want to be better. But past that, there was no why. There was no purpose to it. Why was I getting better? Do you think people who train in CrossFit do it just because they want to be fit? No, they do it because they want to win. They do it because they want first place in the CrossFit Games. Why do strongmen eat so much food and train so much? It's not because they just want to be big. Well, maybe it is a little bit of that, but it's because they want to be the world's strongest man. They want to win that competition. That's why they're doing it. Everything else is just a byproduct of it. And that hospitalization for me was the biggest why I've ever had kicked up my arse. It showed me if I keep going purposeless through life, I'm just going to keep feeling depressed. I'm just going to keep feeling worthless. And I'm never going to try anything. I'm always going to give up because I just didn't have a why. And you know what? Not having a why feels awful. It feels terrible. But sometimes whys are given to you in the harshest of circumstances. And for me, it was in that hospital bed, thinking that this could be the end. And that's when I realised my why. My why is I don't want to be in a poor health state again. I don't want to be back in hospital. I want to see what potential I have before the end. It made me realise that my time really is limited. Maybe before I believed that I wouldn't make it to 30, but 30 did seem a long time away. It felt like almost like I would never reach it. But I did. Time passes no matter what. So ask yourself, what are you going to do with the time that you have? If time is going to pass no matter what you do, why not do something with that time? Because when I look back at my early 20s, at the decisions I made and the things that I did, I do feel a sense of regret. Why didn't I do something? And it leaves me feeling that I only have one option now, and that is to try today. So while we can mourn the time that we lost, the next best thing to do is to try today. So to come back to that, he who has any why can bear almost anyhow. It comes down to purpose. The why is, why are you doing it? Why do you want to self-improve? New Year's resolutions suck because they don't have a why. The why is, it's New Year's and I've got to come up with a reason to do something. That's why so many people that start the gym as a New Year's resolution, they'll be gone by the end of January. The gyms empty up because they don't have a why. The why was, I've got this target, this goal, and I'm going to go to the gym. And they did that. Essentially, they achieved their why, and their why disappeared. Why bother keep going to the gym? It was just a New Year's resolution. But if your why to go to the gym is because I don't want to be in a hospital bed again, I want to live for as long as possible, I don't want to be in a poor health state, I want to overcome this chronic disease, well, suddenly I've become the type of person that's in the gym every week and I don't even need motivation. I eat consistently healthy. I stopped eating chocolate. I cut junk food out of my diet. And I didn't find it hard because I had the why. The why is I don't want to be like that again. I don't want to waste my time. Time is precious. But like I said, sometimes you need those large events to show you the true meaning of it all, to show you the importance of it all. And maybe it just comes down to aging as well. Maybe you just have to live through that time period and realise, I've maybe lived half my life already. What am I going to do with the rest of it? So I hope that's given you some sort of semblance as to how you can find a why and why self-improvement sucks on its own. You need to find your reason. Ask yourself, why am I even doing this? Why do I want to get in shape? Think about the consequences of not doing it. Do you want to end up being overweight, having heart disease, having fatty liver? Well, maybe that can be your why. Or maybe there's someone in your life that met unfortunate consequences because of their actions. You don't want to be like them. So make that change. And it becomes really easy. As always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.